What's up my peeps, time for a brand new episode of WWE Mayhem, and in today's episode, it's all about the brand new TLC update that just came out a few days ago. I'm gonna go over the good, the bad, in my opinion, and we're gonna start this off with the What's New section, the update notes on the App Store and the Google Play Store. So they started off by saying, more female superstars, more mayhem, welcome Natalya, Ember Moon, Riott, and Lana. And on top of that, Rey Mysterio joins the mayhem on popular demand. But the thing with Rey Mysterio is, we already knew that, because they did announce him, they did post up a video the day before the update letting everyone know that, hey, Rey Mysterio is coming to the game. And by the way, judging by that video, it seems like there's 3 different versions of Rey Mysterio, likely 2, 3, and 4 stars, since he's got 3 different attires in that video. So anyways, 5 new superstars right there, that's cool. But these superstars went into the game, and they were in the game initially when the update came out, but now they're already out. They were there for a couple of hours, and then they took them out of the loot cases, so now if you're trying to get these superstars, you can't get them. Now, Reliance Games replied to people asking about them, being like, hey, what happened? They disappeared from the loot cases, and they said that that was deliberate, that was intentional, but they will be back sometime later this month. Now, if you guys remember, or if you don't remember, prior to the TLC update, they did say that for Mayhem Fest, for the month of December, there would be 7 limited release superstars. So it seems like these superstars, especially with the way they were put in the loot cases initially and then quickly taken out, seems like these superstars are part of that limited release list. But these are only 5 superstars, so that also brings up the question, who are the other 2? We got Rey now, who's probably or was probably the most requested superstar out of all the superstars. A ton of people wanted Rey Mysterio, myself included. But the other top requested superstar was Bobby Lashley. And since we're missing 2 other superstars, maybe Lashley might just be one of those superstars. Or maybe the 2 other superstars are gonna be the remaining members of the Riott Squad, because they added in Ruby, but we're missing Sarah Logan and Morgan. So I don't know, who knows who the other 2 superstars are going to be, but I'm pretty sure these superstars are part of that limited release list, so whenever they pop back up later this month, I'd suggest maybe trying to get them as soon as possible, because I don't know if they're going to be permanent once we see them again. But moving on, the other thing on the What's New section is new passive abilities added to all Overdriven 2, 3, and 4 star superstars. So now they've added in abilities that are exclusive to superstars who have an overdrive, superstars who you've overdriven, and some of these abilities are actually pretty good. What's interesting about these abilities is that they're 100% like guaranteed to activate. Basically at the start of the match, the ability starts. You've got that ability. For instance, Ric Flair, he's got the critical damage ability. At the start of the match, 100% chance to trigger critical damage, and what that does is increase the critical damage by 50% for the entire match. You don't have to do a single thing for this, that's why it's a passive ability. So no finisher, no nothing, you don't have to hit a move, it automatically activates once the match begins. Samoa Joe, for instance, has the Impair ability. At the start of the match, 100% chance to trigger Impair. Opponent is unable to earn a buff for the entire match. That's pretty big, especially for an ability where you don't need to do anything to trigger it. So that's pretty cool. And what I like about this is it kind of softens the blow when you get an overdrive of a certain superstar. Maybe you won't feel as bad if you get an overdrive instead of a brand new 4-star. Although I'm pretty sure we'd still prefer getting a new 4-star. Like I said, it kind of softens the blow. It's like, oh well, at least that superstar is gonna get better, get an extra ability that's passive once the match starts. So I like this addition around here. And then super signatures are now even more lethal with added abilities. So it seems like they've switched the name of super moves, at least in the notes here, to super signatures. But what's interesting is if you check the game, it still says super moves. It doesn't say, you know, super signatures. But anyways, for the super moves, now they've got abilities. Before this update, the super moves, there were no abilities attached to them, but now they also can trigger some abilities. Fine with this, that's cool. And then don't just steal opponent signatures, but also the abilities that come with it. So now, when you steal a signature move, it's not just the move that you're stealing, but also the ability that's attached to it. I mean, I don't need to explain this, you guys get the point. Fine with this as well. do more damage with smash kills, now replacing shared moves instead of signatures. So this I see as another positive. This is a good thing. Shared moves, once again, this is a new term right here. I'm pretty sure they mean special attacks by that. They've got two new terms here in the update notes: the super signatures instead of super moves, and shared moves instead of special attacks. But anyways, I think this is a good thing, because now, instead of having the smash skill replace the superstars' basically only exclusive moves, their finishers, the signature moves, it now replaces the moves that they share with other superstars anyways, which I think is way better than having it, instead of a signature move. Because one of the big benefits of using a signature move or, finisher in the match is that it's something unique to that superstar. It's not shared with other superstars like, the special attacks or the charge attacks. So that is a good thing. And then finally, new no DQ and shared moves added. Now, as far as the new no DQ moves, when it comes to the males, I haven't noticed any new moves in no disqualification matches. The only thing I noticed is that now, instead of having just one table move in a no DQ match for each class, a superstar can pull off multiple different table moves, so they're no longer exclusive to a certain class. Before the TLC update, if you were in a no DQ match and you were trying to pull off, a table move, basically each class had its own table move and that was it. Now, that's not the case, but as far as new moves, new animations, for the males, I haven't seen any personally. Now, as far as the females go, I think they got the better deal out of this. If you play no DQ matches with any of the women on the roster, they've got some pretty cool moves. I really like them. They've got kendo sticks, they've got trash cans, they've got ladders in no DQ matches. They really got the best of these new no disqualification moves. So if you haven't already tried no disqualification moves with the female superstars, I'd suggest you do. There's some cool moves with the kendo sticks and the trash cans. I'll show some on the screen. So that right there was the update notes. Pretty much everything here is a good thing. And then on top of that, on December 14th, they gave us all a free Becky Lynch simply for logging in. I know it's a 2-star, it's not a 4-star or anything like that, but it's a 2-star female, which is pretty much the equivalent of a 3-star male, since there aren't any 4-star females yet. And also, now, every single day you log in, you can go to the store and get yourself some free ugly Christmas sweaters for the superstar of the day. So far, they've given out one for Becky Lynch and also Ultimate Warrior. Although I will say, these two things that I just listed, the free Becky Lynch and also the Christmas sweaters, maybe you can't count those as part of the TLC update, and they're more so part of Mayhem Fest. But to add to the positive things regarding the TLC update, they did go ahead and add in the disarmer for Becky Lynch, so now she's got 2 finishers, and also they added in the yes lock for Brie Bella. But that also brings me to a negative from this update. Brie Bella got the yes lock, but Daniel Bryan still doesn't have the yes lock, or even the heel hook, or a finisher that he actually uses, like for instance the high knee, instead of that Hurricane Rana that he's got. Obviously they've shown they could add in, another finisher. Seth Rollins still has the pedigree. Sheamus still doesn't have the bro kick. So when it comes to these things, it's disappointing that we still don't have the proper second finishers. And also something that seems to have been removed is the ability to dodge the opponent's attempt at a tag. And I'm not the only one who's seen this. I actually saw it first from the community page. People were complaining that, hey, we can't dodge tags anymore. So I tried it out for myself, went through a couple tag team matches, and sure enough, I couldn't dodge the opponent's tags, whereas before you could. And what's not fair about this is when I went for a tag, the opponent actually dodged it. Not every time, of course, but I saw the opponent dodge it in one of my attempts. So it's not really fair if the opponent can do something in the game that you can't. I don't know if this is a bug or not, but hopefully this gets switched back because it doesn't seem right now. Along with that, for some reason, I've noticed that sometimes the parry seems to be in slow motion. I'm going to show you guys some footage right here of me playing as Steve Austin, trying to go for a parry, and you'll see it is like in super slow motion to get that parry. And this is not slowed down or anything. Speaking of parrying, the opponents are now tougher, they parry more, and just in general the difficulty has been up. The TLC event has to be the toughest pay-per-view event yet. especially on the female side of things. They just introduced the females recently, and the females there in that event are all 3 stars with pretty high ratings on the toughest difficulty. I know it's the pro event, but the difficulty before seemed just fine, but they made it even tougher. And another issue people seem to be experiencing with this update is that they're stuck on loading screens. It seems to be something related to smash skills or steel skills, where if you've got one equipped, this happens. Now this one definitely seems like a bug, and I'm sure it's gonna get, fixed in an update soon, but the other stuff, I'm not sure if they're bugs or if it's meant to be that way. The slow motion blocking, that might be lag or something, I don't know. But anyways, overall for the TLC update, I'd say it's a so-so update, kind of on the weaker side, definitely not one of the best updates. There are some positives there, like the passive abilities, the new know the Q moves for the females, but the negatives are pretty big. They affect the gameplay. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the TLC update, and with that said, I'm out. See ya.